With the Blartenix Interaction System, you can create your custom interactable components. These are for interactable objects that implements its own interaction. In this case, we are going to implement an interactable switch. So first add the game object to the scene and set its position. Then as always, we need a collider, so add one. Now we have to create the switch component, but inside the interaction system, so create the C# script. Inside the script, add the using interaction system namespace to implement the custom interactable interface. This will add to the script some properties and a method for the interaction system. First, we must define a serialized field of interactable info. This is the field that will be returned by the interactable info property. The game object property just returns the base game object, and the custom interaction method will be the method that is called from the interaction handler to run the custom interaction. Back in the editor, attach this component to the switch and set its properties. You can see the interactable type in this case is custom. For the default interaction type, we select custom. World space environment and trigger type of keyboard input. We can add another interaction like the inspect we already defined. Now in the interaction handler script we have to define the custom interaction. So in its case we check the interactable type to only allow the custom interactable types objects to have this interaction. If it is not, then print an error message, so we use a switch clause for this. Finally, we have to cast the interactable object as a custom interactable, and call its custom interaction method. Pass as parameter this interaction handler instance, and if you need you can send an optional parameter, but we don't need it in this case. In the switch component, for now we're going to print a message to know that the custom interaction is being executed, but we'll modify this later. If we test this, you can see it working. Even we can execute the two interactions defined, the custom and the inspect. Finally, let's make the custom interaction work properly. What we want is to turn on and off the light every time we interact with the switch. For this we need two sprites, the off and on state. Also we need a boolean to handle the current state of the switch. Let's create a switch state method to call it every time the interactions is executed and update the game object actual sprite. We need also the sprite renderer component. Go back to the editor and set the component properties, the off and on sprite states, and the sprite renderer component. Hit play and test.